The last video, I show you how to get things going by picking up the skill, able to believe. Able to believe is the skill that must have to start the journey of where you are now to where you want to be. If you cannot believe it, there's no way you're able to achieve it and maximize the true potential of your life and your capability and the life you really deserve to live. So if you haven't watched the video, go back and watch it. To get the most result, make sure that watch one at a time and then build on each other and start not just watch it, but really practice it and start living and breathing each of the skill. So without further ado, so that's skill number 2. Skill number 2 is going to help you stay fueled. They give you all the fuel so you'll never give up on your dream, on to become whatever you want to become and achieve whatever you want to achieve, right? Number 2 skill is able to stay motivated. I didn't know that being able to stay motivated is so important until I had learned about this man, Tony Robbins. Now, this is just one of the books, Awaken the Giant Within. There are many books and there are many courses from Tony Robbins that talk about these 2 things that we all can use. This is a learnable skill, right? That we all can use to help us stay motivated. Pain and pleasure. It doesn't matter where we're from, who we are, what we do, what age we are, wherever that is. We all motivated by 2 things, pain and pleasure. How does it work? We want to get away from pain and we want to get a life closer to pleasure. And that's it. Everything that we do is motivated by these 2 things. To get you started, you can start using one or the other to help you going. But Tony Robbins is brilliant. He talked about why not use both to help you, right? Use pain, right? Whatever the pain you want to get away from, and also whatever pleasure that you draw you from. So now you have like a twin turbo, right? To help you to really stay motivated at all time to allow you to get to where you want to be. Staying motivated is just another step. You haven't quite get there yet, right? You start believing, you haven't quite got there yet. Staying motivated is another step you add on after you start believing yourself. Let me share a personal experience with you. I started my business and there was so many times that I wanted to give up because it was so hard. Let me tell you, the very beginning of that journey. So after I read the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, my wife, she told me this, maybe I should buy this training course. She saw this training course from an infomercial late at night. You can pay $60 and buy this training course and learn how to sell things online. Now back in 2003, if you tell people that you sell things online, people think they're gonna think it's a hobby, right? You may make a few bucks here and there and nothing serious that can change your life. She somehow able to convince me that, maybe I should just give it a try. So I did it. And then 1 week later, I found out that in order for me to have an online business, I need a website. I need to either build it myself, which I have no experience whatsoever, or pay them $6,000. When I hear that, the first reaction I get is like, wow, this is kind of like a borderline scam. And then fast forward later on, FTC does shut down this company. They did call them a scam. So it turns out that my very first adventure was I bought a scam training course that teach you how to sell online. I was really discouraged at that point because I thought, my dream is scattered. That I would not able to do this because it feels like that's the only thing I can afford to do. Sell things online sounds like a shortcut, maybe something I can do. They gave me that hope, but it turns out that I don't have $6,000. I don't even have $6,000 in credit. How am I gonna, start this website and sell things online? And at that point, the only thing that motivated me to dig through and find the truth, to find the real skill to how to sell online, is I keep picturing it. I keep living it, this pain. I have an engineering degree. I have really good grades, but I'm stuck working as a restaurant. I'm not looking down to anyone that work in a restaurant. It's a humble professional that, someone needs to do it. But just that for me, I didn't come this far to work as a waiter, to make minimum wage and have this 5-figure engineering debt from college. With my job back then, I don't even know when I can pay it off. That's my motivation. Like I was so in pain every single day. I just don't want to live like that anymore. That's what motivated me to keep on pushing and keep on finding things on how to learn to sell on the internet. And back in the day, learning how to sell on the internet wasn't really organized. Fast forward, a few months later, I was finally finding the information I need to learn how to sell online. And once I learned that, the rest was history. Actually, my second business, I failed my first business, that's another video. But that was my very first business that I did on my own that allowed me to have the success as a business owner and start making the money that I never thought I would make. Way more than I would have been an engineer. Give me this financial freedom that I can continue elevate myself. That's how I used motivation, pain, the pain part of motivation to help me keep going, because I just don't want to be a waiter anymore. It was a really bad part of my life that I wasn't proud of. It was humble living again, but it just wasn't me. I just could not do it anymore. That was my motivation. So now, moving forward, and at that time, I didn't really quite use the pleasure part, right? The pain was so big that I want to get away from, so that was enough to propel me forward. And then after that, I had my success. Then I want to use the money to elevate me further. Then I invest in another business because at that time, I want to achieve more. And also some of the pain is I don't want to just, work long hours. And long story short, because of both pain that I don't want to be a solopreneur and the pleasure that I want to have more stuff, right? Back in the day, I like nice stuff, so I want to have more stuff, so I invest in another business. That's how I pick up the skill on how to systemize my business and how to delegate. So moving forward, using pain and pleasure is what motivates me to continue my journey on how to improve my life from one level to another, whether it's financial level or time freedom level or impact level. Until just a few years ago, I want to be a quality of life coach to help other busy entrepreneurs to free themselves up without jeopardizing the income, because I believe it can be done because I've done it. So they can live a quality of life and live to thrive instead of live to survive, right? So that was my motivation. And that time, I have a lot of obstacles. I don't want to do this anymore. So I wanted to give up. So I'm looking back. What motivated me to not give up and able to make this video and share with you today and still being a quality of life coach and helping a lot of people to achieve the life they want? Obviously, I want to make the money, right? Because I have a financial goal. I want to continue to achieve that. But in the meantime, I want to make impact to other people's life. Now, I could teach a lot of different things, right? I could teach, just pure e-commerce. I could teach people how to source product. But why I want to focus on help people free up the time? My motivation is this. I grew up from a broken family. It was just, for the longest time, just me and my father. My father was very busy, so I never get a chance to spend time with him and get to know him. And that's my pain. I wish I was able to spend a lot more time with my father and my family so I can get to know them and have a better relationship with them. And although today our relationship is okay, but it took years of hard work and a lot of heartbreaking, a lot of tears to get to that point. I don't want to see another child like me to grow up without spending time with the family. I personally believe that every child deserves to spend time with the family, with the parents. And then the parents deserve to have time to spend with the kids, because work is supposed to support their life, right? Not the life to support their work. And that's why I pick up being a quality of life coach and help entrepreneurs to free up the time. That's my mission. That's my pain point, that I can look back and feel that pain as a child. I don't want to see another child go through that. That's my motivation that help me keep on doing what I feel very uncomfortable, which is making video, speaking in front of people, sharing my story on my mess and how I overcome the mess. Those are the very hard thing for me to do. But that's my motivation. And then also the pleasure part is when I start able to help my client to achieve the dream, it's the best feeling ever. That's my pleasure, to able to see not just my own success, but their success on achieving time freedom and then able to have time for the family. That's my motivation. That's how I use pain and pleasure as motivation, like Tony Robbins talk about, right? I can't thank him enough. I didn't come with this idea, but I personally have gone through it, and that's my experience that I just share with you, that how I use motivation, get away from pain, and then get closer to pleasure to continue fuel me for this journey on where I want to be now to where I want to be in the future. So skill number 2, very important. Now don't stop here. Skill number 3 is gonna help you start moving forward. Now that you have the fuel to allow you to go through the entire journey without giving up, skill number 3, extremely important, is gonna help you keep moving and get that momentum going so you can eventually achieve where you wanna be, all right? So click on the video and I'll see you there.